So we're living in very interesting times as far as insurance is concerned. And sometimes when we say interesting, one wonders, is it deliberate? Is it a surprise? Is it miracle? But again, as you talked about the results, last year the industry hit a much coveted 1 trillion mark in terms of premium. And of course, that's about 17% in terms of growth over 2019. And what is phenomenal is that half or 2/3 of last year was locked down. So maybe that's where the speculation of miracle, surprise coming. But maybe not so much. It's a deliberate effort. And we also saw, if we come to the broking sector, we saw an increase in the numbers from about 39 to close to 48 here. And brokers is distribution, the number of agents do remain, and also the broker share of the market rising from 28 to 34. So we do see a rising trajectory, and we also see advancements in areas that are really linked to the person. Health insurance, credit life insurance, savings, retirement plans, and of course the usual, commercial insurances of the person. And that's why I say it's interesting, because I get a feeling insurance is gradually sinking home. Now, when you're dealing with in a thrifty situation, you really need to be very thorough on the decisions that you make regarding your enterprise, regarding your finances. And this is where advisory services come in handy. You've got to make sure that you have all the information and all the questions are answered. But he also talks about, I think also some growth in terms of new entrants on the corporate side. But Charles, let me also tell you, this sometimes people call rhetoric, this aspiration of middle income. It actually transforms very slowly, very gradually. And the features of a middle income community or economy are different. The styles are different, the consumption is different, and therefore the supply is also different. So therefore you find that these companies which are coming from more developed economies, they have the models, they have the penetration strategies that can actually merge, can move along, with the times. The presence of big players here signals capacity, signals experience, signals skills development, and there are also synergies, because these big players who are coming here are part of large conglomerates, so it's very easy for them to put together capacity required for big risks, as opposed to one isolated company here running the whole world looking for capacity. There are benefits. In terms of human resource development, we do expect that definitely locals would have an upper hand. That's where local content comes in. Not just because they should have it as a favor, but we really have competent people here. We have our insurance training college, which is actually leading in developing, a human talent for the industry, and which is good. And of course, ultimately, the customer also benefits, because their experience in product development and also service delivery ultimately benefits the consumer, the industry grows, and more taxes, of course. Our Insurance Act, first of all, talks about all imports into the country being insured by locally licensed companies. But reinforcement was the question. How is it done? So the IRA Marine Portal is therefore a very useful vehicle in this regard. Not for purposes of just collecting premium, but for purposes of securing assets. Insurance is all about securing the nation's wealth. That all imports coming in are well secured, they are protected, so the public should welcome it. And in any case, it is a one-stop shop, okay? They're not going to go through all these other rigors. And the remaining bit of the discussion is how to involve the intermediaries, because the brokers have been doing marine for their respective corporate companies. And how to link into this portal and ensure that the certificates are issued, the policies are followed up, and therefore when there are claims, they can also be properly serviced. So the public should welcome it. We do support it. It's going to contribute to the growth of premium and move us closer to where we want to be, beyond the below 1% penetration.